because we'll be nowhere. We'll just be hanging and be loafing. So I was right after all. Well, my name is Foluke Daramola-Salako. I'm a Nollywood actor. I graduated from Babafemi University. I read international relations. I did international law and diplomacy for my master's. I've been an actress of over 30 years. And I do politics as well. I'm married with kids. And I'm a humanitarian. I run a foundation that's called Passion Against Rape and Abuse in Africa Foundation. And I have an aside foundation that deals with my veteran actors, where we take care of the veteran actors, the ones that are ailing, the ones that are not too financially stable, the ones that are sick, and the ones that are okay. We just celebrate them, we celebrate their birthdays, we go to visit them, we just make them feel loved. So that's about it. If I wasn't in the movie industry, I would have been a diplomat, which I'm still not likely not to be. You understand? I love politics. I love humanity. I don't like it when that next person is suffering or going through something. I don't like injustice. So I would have done politics, which I'm still doing now, you know. So all my life I've walked the path of being a politician, a diplomat, and an actor. So I always jostle that. Though I intend to be a lecturer later in life, maybe like a retirement kind of thing, you understand, to lecture younger ones. That's why I've done my master's. I intend to do my PhD soon as well. First and foremost, it wasn't palatable. I said it earlier on the show today. My first marriage, on the night of my wedding, was when I started noticing. It was when I noticed abuse. But because of the fact that what people will say, how can I be in this, blah, 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 and God has already orchestrated it because my wonderful kids are from the marriage. But you know, I was staying put because of what people would say. But when I decided to step out, people did not understand why I stepped out. But I understood why I needed to go. A lot of people did not receive it well. But if I hadn't stepped out, I had died there, by now it would have been a forgotten case. So it's better for people not to accept my reality or my truth, but I accept my own truth, than for me to lose my life in the process of trying to prove it to the world what I am going through. It didn't come in a day. Talking about my rape issue didn't come in a day. For a long time, I was frigid. My first marriage, part of what was wrong with it was the fact that I was frigid. I used to see sex like a punishment. I had to go through a psychiatrist. At the time that my friend suggested it, he felt that I was mad. And then at that time I went for it, a lot of people did not even believe in shrinks. But it was when I went to see the psychiatrist that the guy started talking to me. When he was talking to me, Dr. Frank, he was talking to me and he helped me understand something, that the best form of healing if you've gone through one trauma or abuse or the other is to speak about it. That therapy, even though it wasn't like a formal one, it was an informal one because it was my friend that introduced me to it. But one key thing that helped me to heal was speaking about it. That is why I see it as a normal thing. I don't blame myself for it because it happened to me. Rape is a very complicated crime that if it happens and you do not complain, is as good as the perpetrator has gotten away with it. But you know the perpetrator knows you. So, for instance, I was telling somebody about a situation of somebody that did something to me in the Nollywood. I won't mention the person's name publicly, but when I see that person, I'll tell him that this is what you did at one point in time. It's left to you to accept or not accept. Do you understand? But it's not for you to say, okay, this person raped me 2 or 3 years ago. And when that person raped you 2 or 3 years ago, you now come to the social media and say, this person raped me 2 or 3 years ago. For all you care, people will say you are trying to badmouth the person, you are trying to spoil the person's name. But when you see the person and say, you know, you did this to me, I leave you to your conscience. You took advantage of me at so, and so. If you have the chance to report at that point in time, immediately, fantastic, you get justice. I mean, easy. Some weeks back, I still vituperated with a girl that was even younger than my daughter that was saying rubbish to me on it. I went on the live because I was talking about the fact that this is going to snowball to we're going to have an anarchy if you're not careful. You're going to have a chaos in the society if you're not careful. But at the end of the day, I was emotional at some point, you know, that I was going to use police or blah, 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 because I felt bad. I felt really terrible that how did it degenerate to this? And guess what? What that thing has done for me is that psychologically, it has affected me to be on the defense. Even the people that needs help from me, I don't even allow it anymore because I believe that you can be the person that has been trolling me and then you come behind my back and still beg me for money. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So a lot of times for me now, it has kept me on the edge. What I've decided to do is a lot of times when I post something, I turn off my comment. And I hardly go to my DMs because I have almost 1 million followers. Even if you DM me, it will enter general. I won't see it. So you will say if it's any buruku batinji and you know my jembe. So at the end of the day, the people that really need help from you, not necessarily financial, it can be anything, that they're already blocked off because of the ones that are doing rubbish on your page. But for me, I've just told myself that psychologically I'm going to be tuned off. I will pay less attention to the people that are commenting on my page. I pay less attention to them. And I'll just do what I need to do and move on from there. But because I can hold it that way, some people might not be able to hold it psychologically. People don't understand that bullying can lead to death. Some people actually commit suicide. Some people psychologically, when they are thinking about people, everybody hates me, everybody is bullying me, they feel that the whole world is on their shoulder and they commit suicide. Which is what I'm talking about, that we have to be careful, we have to be able to streamline these things. It's becoming a big mess. I love the fact that you said regulated. Social media is a fantastic platform. It has made millionaires, billionaires, it has made celebrities, but it needs to be regulated. It needs to be regulated because if it's not regulated, we're going to have chaos at the end of the day. Depends on the perspective you're looking at it. For me, I am one person that minds my business. People say that I can be a bit rigid in some ways, you understand? But be one person that I try to maintain cordiality with everybody as much as possible. So for me, maybe others have been feeling that, but because I don't have close tie relationship with most people. But for me, I don't see it from the perspective of maybe there are no support from, you understand? A lot of people will still want to have one or two things to do with, want you to do one or two things. The one that I can do, I will. And sometimes when I need help from one or two people, I'll tell them, from the younger to the older. And they always give me the support. Like for instance, when my movie comes out and say, please help me post it. For me, I don't know about others. I get things that I need done. It's consistency and hard work. Let me tell you something. The movie industry now is a gold mine, my sister. If you hear the kind of money they are paying people, your jaw will drop. Netflix pays as high as 500 million, 1 billion for movies. And that's to male, female. So at the end of the day, will you tell me that Funke Akindele is doing something else apart from filmmaking? Or Tony Abraham? Or Bimbo? You understand? Some people, no doubt, might have one or two businesses that they are doing aside. Fine, I'm not disputing that. But I'm telling you that when people say, the female amount, no, I don't agree. What happened to the Femi Adebayo, the Kunle Afolayan, the Tope Adebayo, a lot of people that Muyiwa Ademola, Ibrahim Chatta is building a world-class film village that is worth almost about 500 million. Is she a female? So people we can insinuate also, or do you think that he has a sugar daddy that is giving him money? So at the end of the day, it's your work. It's the pace at which you work, the determinant to say, okay, I want to make a difference with whatever I do. Consistently, I do my movie. I was one of the people that radically removed myself from marketers and told myself that I have to look for another means to sell my movies. And I've been making my money. So I don't believe in that theory that the girls are doing other things, that they are making money, and some people even believe that maybe it's the men that they date. That is a woman that does not have value. And let me tell you, the women that are in my industry, we have energy, we have passion, we are determined. If you come to location and you see the kind of work we do, then you understand the kind of passion of what we put in what we do. So we should be given not just some credit, a whole lot of credit for what we do. We work hard to make a living, to make a difference to our life. So it's devoid of, I'm not saying we don't have our relationships, but it's devoid of the fact that a woman is relying on it. And how much does the man even want to give you? Will the man give you money? How many men don't the men have their own responsibility to be buying houses and buying you Lamborghini and buying you Range? It doesn't work that way. You have to work your, don't work your head off to get it. I remember when I wanted to get my car, my Range, I didn't pay once. I decided that I wanted a luxury for myself, and I decided to pay. The same thing if I want to get property. So when people see it, people will not understand that this is what this person has done to do. They will just believe that no. Maybe some sugar daddy has given Foluke Daramola. It doesn't work that way. You understand? And if you are determined and you are focused and you believe in God, sky will be your beginning. But now Bimbo, I'm looking forward to working with her. I have a project that I want to work with. Bimbo Ademoye. I think she's a fantastic actress. I think she interprets roles so perfectly. I've not had a one-on-one with her. Same thing with Banky W's wife, Adesua. You understand? And some of my Yoruba genre people as well, Damilola Oni. You understand? I feel that they do a whole lot interpreting their roles well. And Kehinde too. Kehinde Bankole, she's a fantastic role interpreter as well. So they have quite a number. I've always said it that Toyin is she's just good at what she does. So I have quite a number of them, but I really see that no, these people are critical. These people are fantastic actors. Because when it comes to acting, I am very critical. Before I can love to watch, I direct. Before I can love an actor, it takes a lot for me. I am a very critical person. I'm very partial I'm very stingy with my mark, with my criticism. But when I tell the people that I mentioned their names, I think they're exceptional. I think they're doing fantastic. There are two things entirely. To every country, there are peculiarities. I read international relations. International relations is in its entirety, it's a combination of policies from different countries. Now, Nigeria is peculiar. You understand? What works in America or UK might not necessarily work in Nigeria. You understand? And, for every election, it comes with its peculiarity as well. You understand? Like this election, I would say, was really hot. You have to really be opinionated. You have to be able to have a strong will to be able to stand in the position that you stand. Do you understand? And you have to really believe beyond money. You understand? Like I always said, I don't know how much money would make me stand where I was, which is the APC. When my husband was in labor. You understand? But because I believed in what I was following, I believed in the principle. Because one thing is certain, I said it earlier, I cannot, when I don't have a relationship with you, I can't ask you to do something for me. The leaders in the APC, if they're not doing things right, the onion lies on me to say, no, you people this is not what you promised. You have to be able to do this for us. But if for instance, if I had said I want to go to labor, who do I want to hold accountable? Which is what a lot of people are not thinking. Who do I want to hold accountable? I can't hold anybody accountable. If my father is doing the wrong thing, I said, Daddy, with all due respect, it's wrong. Oh. But will I be able to say that? I don't have a relationship with Peter Obi. I don't have a relationship with anybody. You understand? And I can talk from antecedents. It's the antecedent of what I've seen in Lagos. When I am a critic, I said I've not gone for any political post, but I'm a critical politician. I don't know, maybe tomorrow I might change, but I doubt that. But that today, I've always said it that even as Asiwaju is the president, if there's a need for me to be the devil's advocate, I will come to that page and say, sir, you are doing this, and this. We need you to do this, and this. You understand? And be fair. Somebody said that I should pray for myself that if I'm being fair, that good things should happen to me. But if I'm not being fair, that I should be caused. I said, yes, I can talk about that because I live according to the dictates of my conscience. I don't live based on the fact that I want, because the truth of the matter, money will finish. You will say, oh, my turn, it is the antecedents that you lay that you'll be remembered for. My foundation, I don't have any support outside. But the little I can do, sometimes as little as 5,000, is as little as 10,000. It can make a whole world of difference. Even as little as 3,000. As I said yesterday, I shared 3,000 amongst over 30 people. Calculate how much that is. With this, my little self. You understand? But at that time, I had over 30 people on my neck, and I had to share it amongst them. And they appreciated it. So that to making a difference to me, it doesn't have to be the big things. It can be the little things that you might just not take cognizance of. People see me as someone that can snatch a man. First and foremost, I as Foluke Daramola, I'm a complete woman. I'm complete in myself. And I've always said it that we all deserve to be happy. And my relationship, the way I do my relationship is my prerogative. I've been in a marriage that was an abusive one that I had to leave. Now, the relationship that I'm in now, my partner has had his own marriage that didn't work out for whatever reason. Now, the conception that people will say that Foluke Daramola snatched a man. When two people have found love in themselves, one, it is not, a man is not a commodity that can be snatched. The same way a woman is not a commodity that can be snatched. That's one. Two, you don't force love. When love does not abound in a relationship, the next thing is for both parties to go their separate ways. It is because there's love existing between myself and my husband. That is why we are still in a relationship, not because I snatched him. When he saw that the relationship with his ex was not working, they both decided they were going away from. When my first marriage was not working, we decided to leave the marriage with no qualms, with nobody holding any grudges against one another. Do you understand? As I've always said, I can deal with infidelity, I can deal with polygamy, but I cannot deal with an abuse. And because I found peace of mind in my marriage, it can surmount anything. But the notion that I want people to not to remove from their head is the fact that I snatched my husband. No. We are two people that have been mutually compatible and are in love with one another and have found our company also for the past 13 years. At some point, we had our fights. We're almost breaking up the marriage, But I guess we both understood our bond, what kept us together. If there's anything I give credit to my husband for, is the fact that he would not lord it over me. And because of the place I was coming from in my first marriage, I told myself that any man that, if I sense this slightest form of harassment or abuse, I'm out. The slightest form. As I've always said, I can deal with polygamy, I can deal with infidelity because I'm complete in myself. And I believe that a man is there to complement you. it's not for you for the man to complete you. You understand? So I can deal with that. But you know, when we were going through the politics time, at the initial stage, we thought we could handle it together. But later, we decided that no, I'm not interested. Especially when he was having pressure from Labour Party and they were telling him that his wife is a Mo, is this, is that. Okay, if you know that you're not going to come to my page, then we have to go our separate. And I said, fine. Then so be it. And we were separated for almost about a year. But later, when things started happening, he had to come back to my side. And I said, listen, because I know where I am, it's the right side. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, at some point, he got his finger burnt because where he put his all and everything, he didn't get the result, the appreciation that I thought he was going to get. And we're back together. Assuming you had successfully convinced me to move from where I was to where you were, it would have been a catastrophe for us today because we will be nowhere. We'll just be hanging and be loafing. So I was right after all. I tell them to not lose focus of culture because it is because we take sacrosanct to culture and value that the youth can see a peaceful environment like this. If we do not take cognizance of all this, we are going to have chaos. And also, religion and ethnicity should be removed from our thoughts and our activities because the end result is not something that we want to experience. And last but not least, war is not shooting guns. War is not fighting people. War is disaster, sadness, hunger, deprivation, starvation, everything negative, cannibalism. You will get to a stage when there is war, you will be eating, people will be eating themselves. You'll be drinking your pee. Sorry for my use of words. So people clamoring or even thinking it should just bring it to erase. The best way of dealing with things is dialogue. And you know, we should do it in one voice, devoid of, and then people should learn to be a real game player. When you lose, accept that you have lost. And don't try to infuse some sort of wahala in the system. Guess what? What Yoruba will say, in God, so one lay you talk me to shake one. Believe that Nigeria will be a better place for everyone, and we should struggle to make a difference in your own way. Because we'll be nowhere, we'll just be hanging and be loafing. So I was right after all.